Okay, anyway, I feel like this one's gonna be pretty short because the only thing I have to like do is show you like all of the websites that I made because I had to make all the websites, well, obviously by myself in Blender. Basically, I just like took a bunch of like screenshots from each like website that I had to use. The Notes app, Billboard, Jimmy Choo, and Twitter. And I just put them here as like a bunch of reference images. And I just basically modeled everything exactly as it was on the screenshot. And that is how the websites came to life. Okay, I'd opened like the wrong file. But basically just like these 5 screenshots was what I used. So I just imported them as reference images and I modeled everything above the thing so that it would look identical. At least I think it looks identical, but it would look identical to the actual website. All of the websites are in the same file. They just like switch as they have to switch, but they're all like put to the side, and then when I need them, I just keyframe them in. Everything is like here on the same thing. This would be the notes one. For example, this also, the maps thing is below the camera, but then it like keyframes somewhere here on 72. It goes up because on the intro that can't be seen. This whole thing can't be seen. So it had to be below there, and then it goes like that, back up. So this Notes app thing stays here until when I needed to switch to the Jimmy Choo thing, it moves to the left and then this one comes back in. But since the camera is like up here, you don't really see it happen, I guess. And then this header thing, because as you slide headers on a website, the thing slides. This is a shape key. A shape key that goes from left to right. And these 4 things, like the shoes, I rendered them as like a separate thing on like a separate file as PNGs. Then I imported them here as an image sequence on the material like shader part so that it would move with the things. And then this one is very much still on the camera. When it slides from the billboard thing to the from the Jimmy Choo thing to the billboard, you can see that on the camera. They just slide, but like at the same time, that there's no like gap in between because this is just black. I think that's common sense. But then comes a billboard thing, and I just replaced the songs with the lyrics, and all of this is just a bunch of text and etc. And then here it goes all the way down here. It zooms out. The whole zoom in, zoom out transition is like basically just zooming out in the same keyframe range. So this zooms out in like 4 frames, I think so. 1, 2, 3. Zooms out in 3 keyframes. So it like moves up, and then the other file, which is obviously not this one, the one in the bedroom also moves like backwards in 3 frames. Somewhere in the middle, I just cut them up and then I just put them together, and it looks merged, kind of, sort of, because it's like really fast and then with like a bunch of motion blur. So here the camera just stays there for like a while because this whole thing is that other file, so the camera here doesn't have to do anything, obviously. Then it zooms back in and it's the same thing. Zooms back in 3 frames. On the other one, it also zooms in 3 keyframes. Then this is the whole Twitter thing. I feel like Twitter was the dumbest website because I did not even use like half of this. Like none of this. It's actually starting to pain me a little bit because I feel like I could have used a little bit more, yet I did not. It just really just stays in the middle the whole time. And then it swipes to the hair salon. But before the hair salon, we should go to the bedroom. So the camera was inside this thing before, inside the actual like computer. And it zooms out back somewhere here. Yeah, this is actually my favorite scene, even though it like lasts 20 frames. And then I had these hands, which fun fact are the same hands of my profile picture. And I downloaded them from CG Trader like 2 years ago or something like that. But they disappeared. So I can't even give credit to whoever made this rig because I really like it. It's like very like flexible, and it's like it makes animating the hands really fun. Like instead of being tedious, it's actually quite fun. You can just move them around and then like it bends so perfectly and etc. The hands all move in these 3 clicks, like click, click, quack. In these 3 clicks, it's supposed to be like zoom out, type, zoom back in into Twitter. This one's just smoking because why not? This one's just like above the thing. This one's also above the thing. This is the one that's typing, and this one is the one that is doing this walking motion. I will not attempt to show you this because my laptop did crash last time I tried, and I started crying a little bit, but it's fine. It's okay. We can move on. So I'm gonna turn off the hands. Basically, they just do a little motion for 10 frames, then the camera zooms back in into Twitter. And then although you can't really see this, I did animate these like keys. I put a keyframe on like the Z location, and I just went to the graph editor and I added a modifier which was noise. I didn't have to actually like animate it frame by frame or whatever. It just kind of did it for me just like that, even though it's not really seen. But and then for the paper part where it cuts, because I wanted the second video to be like below the thing when it opens, but I didn't want to have to mask that out in the picture result. So what I did is, since the film, if you go on here on film and you put it as transparent, it's gonna be transparent, like the background's gonna be transparent. If that cut happened and there was nothing in the background and I layer a video below so that the video is gonna automatically appear and I don't have to do anything. So I just put like 3 booleans over here. These 3 things have like a hole in them so that when the paper opens, because the opening is only like over here in this small thing. So like when it opens, there's nothing there, and then you can just layer it properly. For the music notes, this part was actually kind of pretty easy because I needed like this notes like this sheet music situation, but I did this already for Dumb and Poetic, and I still have the file. So I just had to take that file and just kind of remake it a little bit like here and there. So it was basically just like a long ass sheet of paper, and then with these strings also. This was really annoying to animate actually, to get it to look smooth, and like since the lyrics are like spread out on the paper, then the camera is like moving around. I was confused as to like, should I position the words first or should I animate the camera first? So I kind of did a little bit of both, and then I mean after smoothing it out a lot in the graph editor, I feel like it looks okay. And then this bouncing thing, this bouncing curve, I followed the tutorial from Polly J Ford, and it was actually pretty easy to make. You just put like a bunch of planes so that the curve will bounce on them. You select all of them. You put a bunch of planes where you want it to bounce. You select all of them because he made like an add-on, and you can just like, if you go on edit preferences, the add-on's called simple bounce or something. Yeah, simple bounce curve. Select all of them, then you go over here on what object? Right here, create bounce curve, and it creates this curve for you, and then you just have to put the curve, the actual curve thing, wherever it is, on the same origin point of the curve. Oh, here it is. On the same origin point of the curve, and then you just animate it, and it's gonna follow the curve. It's gonna bounce like that. It leaves somewhere here, so that the camera can focus on these running guys, which are from Mixamo. This is the last, which I'm actually still finishing, but it's pretty much done, I feel like. This is the last thing. This is like this big ass theater that I got from CG Trader. It's a great model. It's a really, really good model. The Notes app swiped from right to left. So this is doing the same thing. The camera starts over there and it swipes in 4 frames, I think so, and ends here inside this thing. This is like the small room. The door was disabled. The small room, then the door is right here, and then it opens obviously to go over here. The lyrics are over here. This is the part that I really, really wanted to animate, because I wanted the thing of like the words getting bigger, like why you keep on. I feel like that's really fun, this part. I mean, I don't know. And that literally is it. That's it.